We welcome you into McCrory Park in Asheboro, North Carolina, as the Asheboro Zookeepers are set to take on the Point-Thomasville HiToms in their 9th meeting of the year, coming down the stretch in the second half of the Coastal Plain League season. Welcome into the broadcast. I'm Adam Oppenheim. HiToms got a big win yesterday against the Mustangs, 14-4 in 7 innings. And the Zookeepers last knocked off the Holly Springs Salamanders 8-0. So both these teams are looking for the second half playoff berth in the West Division. HiToms are coming in at 15-22, 7-8 in the second half. Zookeepers are 15-20 overall and 7-7 in the second half. So the HiToms just one game behind the Zookeepers. HiToms are a game and a half behind the first place team, the Lexington County Blowfish, and the Zookeepers are just one game back of first place. So a massive game for both teams here at McCrory Park in Asheboro, North Carolina. We will get you the starting lineups, the pitchers, and more coming up next after the national anthem. We'll be right back from McCrory Park in Asheboro, North Carolina, getting started between the HiToms and the Zookeepers after this, as you're tuned into HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. We welcome you back into McCurry Park. I'm Adam Oppenheim. If you missed the introduction, it's a big game for both teams. Zookeepers at 7-7, HiToms at 7-8, just a half game back of Asheboro. And they would leap them if the HiToms win today. Otherwise, Asheboro's lead grows in the division. It was a big day for both these teams looking around the league because the Macon Bacon were swept by the Flamingos in 2 games, and the Lexington County Blowfish also lost. So these other teams, including the Zookeepers, the HiToms, the Mustangs, got a lot of help yesterday. So let's get you some starting lineups. First, for the visiting Point-Thomasville HiToms, leading off is going to be Kane Kepley. Following him will be Jack Spike. Austin Deering will hit third. In the cleanup spot's going to be Josh Karen. Don Palali is back in the lineup. He's going to hit fifth. J.D. Suarez follows him. And 7-8-9 goes as follows. Juan Correa, Jake Coonan, and Nate Chrisman. And the HiToms are going to be facing the right-hander Spencer Floyd, who's 6'1", 170. The sophomore who pitches at Lenore Rhine. Floyd on the year is 0-1 with a 5.62 ERA. He's appeared in 5 games, but this will be his first start of the year. He's pitched 8 innings total. 10 strikeouts, 7 walks, and has allowed 5 hits. And last time out was a great performance for him against the HiToms. 5 days ago, he went an inning and 2/3, allowed no stats, including runs, and just 1 walk. You would think that definitely factors into the Zookeepers' decision to start Spencer Floyd today. And Kane Kepley is going to lead off for the HiToms. Top of the first, no outs. HiToms and Zookeepers facing off for the 9th time this year. HiToms 5-3 against Asheboro. This will be the 9th meeting out of 11. Swing and a miss, strike 1 for Kepley. Into the mitt of Dallas Callahan behind the plate. So it starts 0-1 on Kane Kepley. Floyd's righty delivery misses high. It's 1-1. One and one on Kane Kepley, the leadoff hitter. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's high and away. It's 2-1 on Kepley. Floyd, this most recent season at Lenore Rhine, was 1-0 with a 5.06 ERA and 16 innings pitched. That included 4 saves as well. An opponent's bat 284 against him. 2-1 pitch to Kepley. It's popped up into right field. It's going to be Laskowski coming out to make the catch, the second baseman, into the outfield, and calls off Trey Way, the right fielder, in right center for the first out. But for Floyd, he had 1 point of ERA lower in 2022 with a 4.01 and allowed a batting average of just 221. So looking to get back to how he was his freshman year at Lenore Rhine. Here's Jack Spike with 1 out. Takes the first pitch inside. It's 1-0 on Spike with 1 out on the top of the first after Kepley flies out to the second baseman Laskowski. 1-0 to Spike is fouled back into the netting. Let's get you the Asheboro defense starting off in the outfield from left to right. Owen Blackledge is in left. Lane Lackey's in center. Trey Ways in right field. Around the diamond from third to first. Jared Beebe at the hot corner. Jacob Budzik at short. Cole Laskowski at second base. Zach Beach at first. Dylan Callahan behind the plate. And Floyd on the mound. As Jack Spike flies this out to the right fielder Trey Way, who settles under it to make an easy catch, and 2 quick outs for the HiToms. Two baseballs to the right side of the diamond. And the HiToms have 2 outs in the inning, with Austin Deering now up from the State College of Florida. Has been one of the best hitters in the CPL all year long. First pitch and Deering, outside corner for a strike. Oh, 1-1 on Deering with 2 outs. Next pitch in is taken high. It's 1-1. Floyd really just has had one bad outing this year against the Mustangs. That was on July 16th, where he went an inning and a third and allowed 4 runs, all being earned. Otherwise, it's 1 run or 0 runs in all of his other appearances. 1-1 pitch. Got Deering to chase a high fastball. It's 1-2. One and two on the 3-hitter for the HiToms today with 2 outs. Spencer Floyd's 1-2 pitch. It's driven out into deep left center field. Black ledges back. He's near the track, near the wall. It's gone. A home run for Austin Deering. A ball that took off the bat into left center field. And the HiToms have an early lead. It's 1-0. The 4th home run for Deering. And he knocks in his 24th run batted in of the year. On a 1-2 pitch, sends Floyd's pitch on a deep fly ball right near the scoreboard at McCrary Park. A great start for the Tommies. And Austin Deering coming in hitting .366 is going to up that average to start this game. Next up is Josh Karen. Takes the first pitch outside. It's 1-0 with 2 outs. So HiToms make 2 outs and then a solo home run from Deering as the Tommies on top 1-0. Next pitch from Floyd. It's a fastball by the bat of Karen. It's 1-1. Who had his best game in a HiToms uniform yesterday. That was a 4-for-5 day with 4 singles and 4 RBIs. 1-1 pitch. A breaking ball's taken away. It's 1-1. Two and 1 on Karen with 2 outs in the top of the first. Here's the pitch. It's taken low. It's 3-1 on Karen. He's in a hitter's count. On deck is Don Palali, who's been out with a hamstring injury since July 16th. 9 days ago, he injured it running to third base against the Macon Bacon. 3-1 on Karen. Here's Floyd's pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Floyd going back to the heater, and it's a full count with 2 outs. Full count with 2 outs on Karen. Here's Floyd's pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Foul tip into the mitt of Callahan. And that retires the side. But the HiToms go up 1-0 on a solo home run from Austin Deering, his 4th of the year. We head to the bottom of the first in McCrary Park. HiToms lead 1-0. You're listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Welcome back to McCrary Park in Asheboro, North Carolina. HiToms have a 1-0 lead on the solo home run by one of the 4 HiToms All-Stars, Austin Deering, and it's his 4th of the year. And let's get you the starting lineup for the home team. The Asheboro Zookeepers hitting first is going to be Layan Lackey. 2-3-4 will go Cole Laskowski, Owen Blackledge, and Jared Beebe will hit in the cleanup spot. Zach Beach will hit 5th. Dallas Callahan will follow him. Todd Hudson will hit 7th. Hitting 8th will be Trey Way. And rounding out the lineup, hitting 9th will be Jacob Budzik. And they will be facing the left-hander Brady Garcia, who's 1-1 on the year with an 8.02 ERA. This will be his 6th appearance and his 4th start. And in 12 1/3 innings pitched for Garcia, 9 strikeouts, 12 walks, 11 hits. So about 1 each inning. Garcia is averaging. So looking to bring those walk numbers down for sure. And so we're just about to get going here in the bottom of the first. HiToms lead 1-0 in Asheboro. Teams very familiar with each other. This is their 9th meeting of the season, and they have 2 more after this, which are both at historic Finch Field. HiToms are in their red uniforms, white pants with red stirrups and blue and white stripes on their socks. Zookeepers in their black uniforms with green numbers, white pants. Garcia's first pitch into Lackey is way high. It's 1-0. And that's something to monitor early on is Garcia's accuracy. Because he hasn't given up a ton of hits this year, but it's been the free passes that have haunted him. The 1-0 pitch to Lackey. Misses high. It's 2-0. To Lane Lackey, who's been moved all over this Asheboro lineup, but will be hitting in the leadoff spot today. 2-0. Misses away. It's 3-0, so not the best start for Brady Garcia, the left-handed pitcher who pitches at Pensacola State College. 3-0 pitch to Lackey. Misses high, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Lane Lackey to start for Asheboro. At Pensacola, Garcia appeared in 8 games with 7 starts, 0-4 with a 7.78 ERA, which was in 19 2/3 innings. Cole Laskowski is up next, the lefty, with Lane Lackey on first base, who has a ton of speed for the Zookeepers. Here's Garcia's first pitch in. It's way inside. Laskowski gets out of the way. Lackey leads Asheboro in stolen bases with 12. The 1-0 pitch, Laskowski. The breaking ball misses high, and the first 6 have been outside the zone for Garcia. Two 2-0 on Laskowski. Garcia's delivery. It's in for a strike on his 7th pitch of the game, and it's 2-1. Pretty good crowd here in Asheboro, North Carolina. The best crowd the HiToms have played here at Asheboro. Stands are pretty full for the most part. Here's the next pitch. Lackey takes off for second. Throw down. He is not going to be in time. So Lane Lackey picks up his 13th stolen bag of the season. So that leads the team for Lackey with the number 13. Pitch was in for a strike on the outside corner, so it's 2-2 on Cole Laskowski. And the tying run in the bottom of the first on second baseman Lane Lackey, who led off the game with a walk. Garcia's 2-2 pitch. Way inside, and it got Laskowski's back as he flips his bat towards his dugout, and Garcia's been off early. First a 4-pitch walk, and now a hit by pitch. And not the start the HiToms were looking for on the mound. And the HiToms are going to have an early meeting on the mound from pitching coach Eric Owen, as Laskowski was able to get out of the way of most of the baseball, so it did him squarely on the back, but definitely hit him. And it's first and second with no outs for the Zookeepers, after the HiToms score in the top of the first on a solo home run from Austin Deering. Here's Owen Blackledge. A different line that the HiToms have seen in recent past. The few of the top Asheboro hitters not being in, but Blackledge is in the lineup today, hitting third. Here's Garcia's first pitch in, a breaking ball. Misses a little bit high, it's 1-0. So Garcia has thrown 10 pitches and 8 have been balls to start. No Carter French in the lineup for Asheboro. No Tyler McPeak. Two of the top hitters for the Zookeepers. It's 1-0 on Blackledge. First and second, no outs. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Strike one. One and one on Owen Blackledge. Here's Garcia's pitch. Misses inside. It's 2-1. 2-1 on Blackledge. Garcia, the lefty, is facing first and second, no outs. 2-1 pitch to Blackledge, way inside. It's 3-1. Nearly hits his second batter of the game. The HiToms defense in the outfields. In left field's Jack Spike. In center field's Kane Kepley. In right field's Austin Deering. Around the infield from third to first. At the hot corners, Nate Chrisman. J.D. Suarez at short. Jake Coonan at second base. And Juan Correa. Man's first base. Josh Cairns behind the plate. Catching the lefty Brady Garcia. Whose 3-1 delivery is hit right back up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. Into center field. They're going to send Lackey home. Here's the throw to the plate. Lackey's going to go back over to third as Kane Kepley made a strong throw towards home. But Lackey makes it back to third, and it's bases loaded, no outs to start for Asheboro. A walk, a hit by pitch, and now a single for Owen Blackledge. And it's early trouble for the HiToms. That would have been a very dangerous play to send Layden Lackey towards home with no outs against the arm of Kane Kepley. So he scampers back to third base. Lackey's at third base. Laskowski at second. Blackledge is at first. With Jared Beebe, the cleanup hitter, at the plate. 1-0 HiToms, but Asheboro's threatening early in the bottom of the first. First pitch in. It's popped up. Josh Cairn is looking up onto it. He makes the catch and foul ground. Few steps away from the on-deck hitter, Zach Beach, who will now be up. So the HiToms get an out without anyone moving on the base pass on a pop-out to the catcher, Josh Cairn. So the bases are still loaded as Beebe was swinging on the first pitch. And Beach is now up with one out. Bases full of Zookeepers. 1-0 HiToms. Lefty-lefty matchup. Garcia delivers the pitch to Beach. Fired in on a fastball for a strike. Looking to find his way out of trouble, but the first three have reached, which has created the bases-loaded jam. Oh, 0-1 on Zach Beach. Garcia's lift-in delivery. Breaking ball misses outside. Zach Beach with a good take as it was down and away off the plate. One and one to Zach Beach with one out. Bases full. Garcia's next pitch. Breaking ball misses inside as Beach turns away from it, the lefty. Garcia trying to find the feel on the ball. Last pitch 3 days ago against the Tops, but it was just an inning, and he allowed no runs in one hit. 2-1 on Beach. Here's the pitch. Catches the inside lower corner, strike two. Great location from Brady Garcia. And boy, did he ever need that pitch. 2-2 on Zach Beach. Garcia's delivery misses way inside, and it hits Beach. And the second hit by pitch of the inning ties the game. On a 2-2 pitch, it hits Beach on the back. So it's been two hit by pitches in this inning, a walk and also a single. And it's 1-1 rather. Asheboro And High Point Thomasville tied. And the bases are low for Dallas Callahan. So Garcia struggled big time with location to start. It's going to be the catcher, Dallas Callahan. Stepping in also in the lefty batter's box from UNCG and sporting the UNCG helmet, the navy blue, with the yellow stripe down the center. Bases loaded, still one out, but Asheboro brings home a run. It's 1-1. First pitch into Callahan. Foul tip into the mitt of Karen. Strike one. So Lackey comes home on the hit by pitch. Laskowski moves over to third. Blackledge goes to second, and Beach is on first base. Both teams have scored a run in the first, but Asheboro looking to grab the lead. 0-1 pitch is inside on Callahan. It's 1-1. One and one on Dallas Callahan. Here's the pitch. Misses in the turf, but Karen gets a piece of it. HiToms have been rotating between a few catchers. And for the rest of the season, it's mostly going to be Josh Karen and Josh Davis. Although Jack Spike might mix in there as well, as he played catcher at Western Carolina, but in left field today. 2-1 on Callahan. Here's the pitch. Popped up down the third base line, and it's out of play. So it's 2-2 on Callahan. Two and two on Callahan with one out. Bottom of the first. HiToms scored a run in the top of the first on a solo home run from Austin Deering, his fourth of the year. The Zookeepers have their run on a walk, two hit by pitches, and a single. 2-2 on Callahan. Here's the pitch. It's outside. It's 3-2, and there's nowhere to put Callahan with the bases full. Early pressure spot for Brady Garcia. Looking to get out of some trouble, but he faces a 3-2 count to Dallas Callahan. The pitch, line down the first base line. It's going to fall unfair. Right near into the right field corner. One's going to score. Two's going to come around to score. Throw to second's not going to be in time. 2 RBI double Dallas Callahan. And it's 3-1 Asheboro. A line drive that was headed for right field the entire way. Falls home for Callahan. Brings home Laskowski and Blackledge. And it's second and third with one out. Asheboro already has 3 home in the inning. Here's Todd Hudson with Callahan at second and Beach at third. First pitch to Hudson. Way inside. Nearly clipped him. Another lefty up for Asheboro. They've answered the one-run inning from the HiToms by scoring 3 in the bottom of the first. 1-0 to Hudson. Pitch misses high. It's 2-0. On Hudson. Way inside. Nearly hit him again. It's 3-0. First base is open, but Garcia looking to throw some strikes here. 30 pitches, rather 29 pitches, and 19 have been balls. Only 10 strikes so far. 3-0 to Hudson. Pitch misses a little bit high. Ball 4, and the bases are again loaded. As 6 of the first 7 have reached. 2 off walks, 2 hit by pitches, a single, and the big 2 RBI double by Dallas Callahan. Here's Trey Way with the bases loaded. And still only one out. Very reminiscent of what the HiToms did to the Mustangs yesterday, building an early lead off walks and a couple big hits. Next pitch misses outside away. It's 1-0. One and 0 to Trey Way with the bases full. One out. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball catches the lower part of the zone. Strike one. One and one on way. The pitch misses high. Garcia has not been able to locate the fastball. Here's the 2-1. Misses low and away. It's 3-1. And Garcia's in danger of giving up another free pass to let another run come home. 3-1 is the score, Asheboro. 3-1 is the count. The pitch misses high, ball four, and another run is in for Asheboro. The second free pass that's allowed a run to score for the Zookeepers. And they have a 4-run inning in the bottom of the first. Started with the walk, then Laskowski was hit by a pitch. A single by Blackledge, load up the bases. Zach Beach got hit by a pitch to bring the first run home. Then it was Dallas Callahan knocking two home on a double. And now back-to-back walks to both Todd Hudson and Trey Way, whose walk gives Asheboro their fourth run of the game in the bottom of the first. And now a meeting on the mound. Suarez, the shortstop, and Josh Caron, the catcher, will come to the mound to talk to Brady Garcia, whose 35 pitches in the first inning have not been his best stuff. 24 have been balls. So 2 hits, 4 runs, all being earned, and 3 walks. And faces Jacob Budzik at the bottom of the lineup for Asheboro. So Callahan's on third base, Todd Hudson's on second, Trey Way's on first base. 4 runs already home in the inning. Asheboro looking to build a giant lead early on. HiToms looking to prevent that. Garcia, first pitch home to Budzik. It's a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. HiToms know they have the ability to come back, especially when give up big innings early in ball games, but they don't want the lead to be giant for Asheboro. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off to the right side, and it's quickly 0-2 on Jacob Budzik. Oh, 2 on Budzik with the bases loaded, 1 out, 4-1. The Zookeepers lead. It's bounced in. Caron makes a nice block. A little more predictable on the turf here at McCrary Park than on the grass and dirt field. Budzik still behind. 1-2 is the count. Garcia takes a look at second. The 1-2 pitch. High and inside. It's 2-2. Good eye by Jacob Budzik. Who has struggled for the most part this year, but is currently riding a season-high 4-game hitting streak. 2-2 on Budzik. Breaking ball misses way high. Pitch was high from the start and did not have enough vertical drop to bring it down into the zone. It's another full count from 0-2. 3 pitches that have missed the zone, and it's 3-2 with 1 out. Garcia will deliver the 3-2 pitch. It misses high, ball 4, and he walks in another run. And you wonder if this is going to be it, as manager Sean Stevens is out to the mound, and the HiToms have an early call to the bullpen. Brady Garcia just goes a third of an inning, allows 5 runs, and he's responsible for the bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the first. 5-1, Asheboro leads. We'll be right back with the HiToms' new pitcher as you're tuned into HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Welcome back to McCrory Park. We've been started for about 30 minutes, but we're still in the first inning as the HiToms scored 1 in the first inning on an Austin Deering solo home run. But Asheboro has 5 runs in the bottom of the first. They have now batted around with Lane Lackey at the plate against the new pitcher for the HiToms, Merritt Dry. First pitch in is away and off the glove of Karen. Another run's going to come in to score on the wild pitch from Dry. And that brings in Todd Hudson. Way moves over to third, Budzik to second. Merritt Dry's 0-1 on the year with a 11.11 ERA. But that's in only 11 and a third innings of work for Merritt Dry. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Lackey. Misses low, and it's 2-0. So Garcia did not give the start that the HiToms are looking for to continue their winning ways. As the HiToms also bring the infield in. 2-0 on Lackey. It's grounded foul behind home plate. And HiToms looking to close off any more doors for Asheboro to score in this game and try to get their bats back up. But it's been a very long inning. About 20 minutes of real time at least. Your next pitch to Lackey. He checked his swing and was able to hold up. It's 3-1 on Lackey. First base is open. Lackey walked to begin this bottom of the first on 4 pitches. And he's looking for his second walk of the inning. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It bounces short, and Lackey is on with his second walk of the game. So it puts Lackey at first base. Budzik still at second. Trey Way at third. And it's Cole Laskowski. So a massive situation for the HiToms in the second half. Here's Dry's pitch. Line down the third base line. It's fair. And it's going to go all the way to the left field corner. This might clear the bases. 2 are in. Here comes Lackey. He's going to score standing up. A bases clearing double for Cole Laskowski. A 9-run inning for Asheboro. Oh, what a disastrous start for the HiToms. Just one out in the inning, and they've allowed 9 runs. Nine runs on just 3 hits. But that was a big one for Laskowski. Owen Blackledge is up next. He'll be the 12th hitter in the inning. First pitch into him. It's inside, ball 1. Very reminiscent of the HiToms in the Bacon, where it was 9-9 going into the top of the 7th, and the HiToms gave up a 13-run inning to the Macon to end the game in 7. This could get fairly close to that. 1-0. Pitch is in for a strike. It's 1-1. One and one with 1 out on Owen Blackledge. Here's the pitch. It's outside. It's 2-1 with 1 out. Two and one on Blackledge. The pitch. Tried to check his swing, but he went around on a pitch that was way low. It's 2-2 with 1 out. The last out recorded was Jared Beebe, who's the 4th hitter for Asheboro. So it's been 7 hitters since the HiToms have recorded out. Two and two on Owen Blackledge. Here's Dry's pitch, way inside by the catcher Karen, and Laskowski will advance to 3rd. Three and two to Owen Blackledge. Here's the pitch. It's lined off the leg of Merritt Dry into the air. J.D. Suarez will field. He'll have no play. Merritt Dry's on the ground. That hit off the back of his leg very hard. Laskowski comes in to score. It's a 10-run inning. As Blackledge advances to 1st, but the main thing for the HiToms is Merritt Dry, who got nailed with that baseball up off the turf. Looks like Asheboro trainer will be checking on Dry. Now manager Sean Stevens. And maybe Dry's going to throw a couple warm-up pitches. See if he's okay. Now on the scoreboard here at McCrary Park, it has a 0 because looks like they cannot put 2 numbers together, but it is 10 in this inning. 10-1. So Dry's going to toss a couple of pitches and see if he's good to go. Garcia's final line's not pretty. It's an inning, or a third of inning, allowing 2 hits, 8 runs all being earned, and 4 walks. But it looks like Merritt Dry's good to go. He gets a round of applause from this Asheboro crowd. 10 runs home in the inning. And it's Jared Beebe up next, with Blackledge at 1st. First pitch in. Gets Beebe to chase a fastball. High and up in the zone. This has been major damage for Asheboro. One of the biggest things they've had all year. Pitch is on the ground to the third baseman, Chrisman. Will throw over to 2nd for 1. On to 1st. Not going to be in time. HiToms get the out at 2nd base. And Jared Beebe hits into out. And he was actually the last person who the HiToms got out for as he popped up to Josh Karen in foul territory. But this time he's on base. It's a fielder's choice as it goes Chrisman to Coonan, 5-4. And it's Zach Beach up with BB on first base. 2 outs. First pitch in, outside corner, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 0-2 on Zach Beach with 2 outs. Runner on first in a 10-1 game in the first inning. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Zach Beach strikes out swing, but the damage has been done. It's a double-digit inning for Asheboro. 10 runs on 4 hits. 10-1 as we head to the second, as you're listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Don Plawley will lead off the top of the second for the HiToms, down 10-1. Looking to chip away at the Asheboro lead. Spencer Floyd still on the mound, who had to sit a long time, but he had a whole lot of run support. First pitch is high and away to Plawley. It's 1-0. Pitch is high again. And he's had 2-0 in the count is Don Plawley, who's coming off a hamstring injury and last played 9 days ago against the Macon Bacon. 2-0 on Don Plawley. Spencer Floyd's pitch. It's on the outside corner, strike 1. So we'll see how quickly Plawley adjusts to the pitching once again after his injury. 2-1 pitch, it's popped up and out of play, way behind home plate into the concourse area. 2-2 on Don Plawley. 10-1 the HiToms trail. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got Plawley to chase the high heat, and that's out number 1 in the inning. Second strikeout for Floyd. Next up for the HiToms is J.D. Suarez, who had a big game. A home run, that was his 4th of the year. And a 2 RBI single. First pitch into Suarez is a swing and a miss, strike 1. And that was the team lead in home runs with 4 for J.D. Suarez, but he was tied up by Austin Deering with a solo home run in the top of the first. So that pitch is high. It's 1-1 on Suarez. 1-1 pitch to Suarez. It's driven deep into left field. It will send Blackledge back right near the track, and he makes the catch in deep left field. J.D. Suarez hit on a line, but Blackledge makes a nice play. And 2 up, 2 down for the HiToms. And there's a lot to say for throwing strikes in a baseball game, no matter how hard it's hit. It's way easier to get on base with walks. And the HiToms walked 5 batters for the Zookeepers in the first inning. And also hit 2 batters. Here's Juan Correa with 2 outs. First pitch is taken low. It's 1-0. One-0 to Correa. It's popped up. Owen Blackledge looks to be under in left field. He comes on and he makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the HiToms. And Spencer Floyd has retired 6 of the first 7 HiToms. 10-1, the HiToms trail as we head into the bottom of the second. You're listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Welcome back to the bottom of the second at McCurry Park. It is Dallas Callahan up to begin the inning after the first inning went a total of 14 hitters. The 1-0 pitch to Callahan, line down the third base line. It's a fair ball. It's going to go and hit the wall into left field corner. Callahan sliding into second. It's a leadoff double. Dallas Callahan, a good piece of hitting, opposite field into the left field corner. And one is on for Asheboro to start. 10-1, the HiToms trail. Here's the first pitch in to Todd Hudson. It's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 on Hudson. Here's Dry's pitch. Just misses the bottom of the zone. It's 1-1. Pretty great weekday crowd here at Asheboro for a 7 o'clock start. Stands are very full, even more full than the start of this game, obviously. So that pitch is high. It's 2-1. But this is one of the best crowds in the Coastal Plain League all year. The 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed by Hudson, but it gets by Karen. So advancing to third is Callahan on the wild pitch. So maybe Karen got a little crossed up with Dry. And it's 2-2 on Hudson with Callahan at third base. HiToms bring the infield in. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike three, Todd Hudson strikes out swing on outside heater from Merritt Dry. And we talked about the run rule yesterday, 10 after 7 for the HiToms against the Mustangs. It's also 12 after 5. So this game being a 10-1, that's certainly in play. And of course, plenty of time for the HiToms to climb back in the game. And it's Trey Way up with one out. HiToms infield still in. It's off the glove of Karen, but just squirts a little bit behind him, and he picks it up. So it's 1-0 on Trey Way. Callahan's at third base, one out in the bottom of the second. HiToms scored one on a solo home run from Austin Deering in the top of the first. Then it was a 10-run inning for Asheboro. 1-0 pitch into the turf. It's 2-0. Nicely blocked by Karen. This might be one of the worst starts the HiToms have had all season long. It might be the worst start. The 2-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball in for a strike. And it's at one of the worst times when games are so important. HiToms a half game behind the Zookeepers. And the Zookeepers are one game back of first place in the West Division. 2-1 pitch, misses low, it's 3-1. These teams do play each other 2 times more, both at historic Finch Fields. And with the HiToms leading the season series 5-3, this is a really big game in their 9th meeting of the year. 3-1 pitch, chopped down the ground at J.D. Suarez, who will charge and he'll throw to first as he took a look at Callahan going home, but decides to get the sure out at first. So it's an RBI single from Trey Way as it was a chopper to the shortstop Suarez. And with the HiToms having the infield in, the play would have been going home, but the ball was not hit hard enough, and Suarez takes the out at first. So the bases are clear with 2 outs for Jacob Budzik as Trey Way picks up his second RBI of the game. Pitch to Budzik. It's a sweeper away, ball 1. 1-0 on Jacob Budzik. It's in the turf. It's 2-0. Not a lot of energy in the HiToms dugout. And the Asheboro's up on the dugout. Pretty much all of their players. 2-0 on Budzik. Hitters count. Pitch catches the inside corner. Strike 1. Two-one pitch to Budzik. Got him to chase in the turf. It's 2-2 on an inside pitch. So Jacob Budzik flies out to right field on the 2-2 pitch. We do apologize for some difficulties, and that will retire the side. So the Asheboro tacks on one more. It's 11-1 as we head into the third. You're listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Jake Coonan will be up first for the HiToms in the top of the third. Swing and a miss, strike one on Spencer Floyd, who's retired 6 out of the first 7 HiToms. The only hit and the only base runner has been a solo home run from Austin Earing, his 4th of the year. Next pitch to Coonan. Misses away. It's 1-1. One pitch to Jake Coonan. It's hit out into center field. Leighton Lackey's going to go back. He's going to go to the track right against the wall. He makes the catch in deep left center field to retire Jake Coonan, who hit the ball hard, but Lackey made a great play in center field for the first out. Nate Christman is next up for the HiToms, fouls that behind home plate and out of play. It starts 0-1 on Christman with 1 out. And the top of the third. Next pitch misses a little bit high. It's 1-1 on the HiToms 9-hitter in the lineup. The 1-1 pitch to Christman. Holds off as a pitch was off speed and was down and away. Down and in, rather. Two and one on Christman. Pitches in the turf. It's 3-1. Weather out in Asheboro is 84 degrees. 3 miles per hour of winds, but it's not much of a factor today. Asheboro has an 11-1 lead. Next pitch to Christman. It's grounded through the left side of the infield and will get past the shortstop Budzik. It's the second hit for the HiToms today, and it's a single for Nate Christman. So 6 for 10 on the season is Nate Christman now. And it's Kane Kepley up and the top of the lineup for the HiToms. Runner on first, Nate Christman, who pinch ran in a game against the Mustangs yesterday and got thrown out as he's still on the very first pitch. It didn't end up mattering as the HiToms took a 14-4 win over the Mustangs in 7 innings. First pitch into Kepley was a strike with Christman on first base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A breaking ball misses high and away. Callahan gets up out of his stance to catch the ball. As you do wonder how aggressive the HiToms will be on the bases. Down 10. Don't want to run into an out, but have to chip away at this lead somehow. But Kepley's been one of the best bats on the HiToms all year long. Nate Christman does go on the 1-1 pitch. Pitches in for a strike. Throw down a second is not going to be in time. Stolen base for Nate Christman. And they had a feeling he was going, but he steals the bag anyways. Only his 3rd stolen bag of the year, but seems like every time he's reached base, he's tried to steal a bag. As that pitch is hit through the left side, Jacob Budzik makes a play on the outfield grass and keeps it in the infield for the most part, but Kepley gets the first base on a single. A weakly hit ball to Jacob Budzik. It went to his backhand side, can't come up with it, but holds it in the infield. And it holds Nate Christman at third base, who now has 3 stolen bases and 2 caught stealing. Here's Jack Spike with runners on the corners and 1 out. HiToms looking to get back on the board, down 10 runs, 11-1 in the top of the third. Spencer Floyd delivers the first pitch to strike. Spike on the upper part of the zone, it's a strike. And with runners on the corners, Kane Kepley has a lot of speed at first base. Here he goes for second. Pitch is low. It's a fake down to second, so Kepley steals second base easily and extends his lead on the HiToms with stolen bases. It's 1-1 on Spike with 1 out. 23rd stolen bag for Kepley. Leads the team by now 10. So that pitch catches the outside corner on a fastball. It's 1-2 on Spike with 1 out. Second and third for the HiToms, down 10. 1-2 pitch to Jack Spike. Lays off a breaking ball. Down and away. It's 2-2. Big plate appearance for the HiToms. Looking to get the 2 runners in scoring position. 2-2 pitch. Spike pops it up down the first base line. In foul territory. Everyone giving chase for the Zookeepers, and it lands in the bullpen. A light jog from Beach, but he had a feeling it would have been out of play, and it was. Just enough. So it's 2-2 on Spike. Spencer Floyd, breaking ball pitch, got Spike to chase. It was a breaking ball that was high in the zone, and Spike's not able to connect, swings through it. It's out number 2 in the inning. And it brings up Austin Deering, who has the HiToms' only run in this game, with a solo home run back in the top of the first for Deering, his 4th of the year. Ties him for the team lead, which was just grabbed by J.D. Suarez yesterday. First pitch and Deering. It's inside, ball 1. So after back-to-back hits by Chrisman and Kepley, HiToms need to put some runs on the board. Second and third, 2 outs, 1-0 pitch to Deering. Catches the inside corner. It's 1-1. Deering up to 373 on the year. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, gets a piece of it to the backstop. It's 1-2. .373 to rank Deering 4th in the Coastal Plain League in average. Floyd's 1-2 pitch in. Inside corner, called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Spencer Floyd. And he strands runners on second and third. 11-1, the Zookeepers still lead in the bottom of the third. You're listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Lane Lackey begins the bottom of the third. Meritori still on the mound for the HiToms, looking to eat up some innings. So the first pitch misses high to Lackey, who's reached twice on 2 walks. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Lackey. It's hit on the ground. Juan Correa fields it off a couple of hops and will take it to the bag himself to retire Lackey. And it's the first time the HiToms have prevented the Zookeepers from getting the leadoff hitter aboard. It's 3 unassisted. And I was wondering where this... Next person up is Kolaskowski. Takes a first pitch inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's hit up the middle. Jake Coonan feels it behind second base for the second out. So 4-3 put out. It bounced over the head of Meritori, and he's retired the first 2 in this inning. Lackey then Laskowski down. And like I was mentioning about this Asheboro crowd, heard from one of the Zookeepers broadcasters, Graham Simpson, this is the 4th or 5th biggest crowd they've had this year. It brings up Owen Blackledge. HiToms looking for a 1-2-3 inning, which they would desperately need. First pitch misses upstairs, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Catches the inside corner, strike 1. One pitch from Dries, a breaking ball. Hit down the first base line, but foul. It's 1-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the third. HiToms trail 11-1. The big inning was the bottom of the first for Asheboro. They scored 10 runs on 4 hits and brought up 14 hitters to the plate as that ball hit down the third base line and foul into the parking lot where it's very packed full of cars. And you have a feeling there's going to be a ball out there sometime near those cars, and just hope it doesn't bounce near yours. 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. Inside on an off-speed pitch is 2-2. Mayor Drive faces Owen Blackledge. And a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Pitch is outside. Check swing. Third base umpire says Blackledge should not go around. And it's a full count with 2 outs. HiToms have allowed 10 runs in the first, 1 the second, and now looking to allow 0 in the third. HiToms have 1 run, the solo home run from Deering, in the top of the first. Next pitch is way high. Karen's able to hold on to it at the top of the zone. But it's ball 4 to Owen Blackledge. And it's the 6th walk that the HiToms have allowed. Here's Jared Beebe up with the runner on first and 2 outs. There's Dry's first pitch in. Misses low. And he has not been able to locate the zone. But he's settled down the base runners for the moment for Asheboro. He's gone 2 1/3 and has picked up some of the slack that the HiToms need him to. 1-0 pitch. Low and away again. It's 2-0. Two-0 pitch to Beebe. It's popped up down the first base line. Juan Correa in foul territory near the first base coach's box. He makes the catch. And the side is retired. So Dry allows 1 to reach, but gets out of the inning without giving up a run. 11-1, the Zookeepers still in command as we head to the 4th. You are listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Josh Karen will lead off the top of the fourth. First pitch is high, ball one. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Karen. It's hit out into center field. Lackey's going to move on to it, and he'll make the catch in deep left center field to retire Karen. Spencer Floyd still breezing by this HiToms lineup. The designated hitter, number 7, Don Palali's first up, or next up rather, takes the first pitch high in the zone, but it catches the top of the zone for a strike. 0-1 on Palali with 1 out in the top of the fourth. Here's the next pitch, breaking ball, right down the middle. Floyd has been on his A game today. Has allowed just 1 run with 4 strikeouts. And 3 hits as that's hit through the right side of the infield. It's a base hit for Palali, who's gingerly jogging to first base. He had a hamstring injury and he did not look to be running very fast, but is at first base. And you have a feeling he might be subbed out later in this game, but for now, Don Palali's at first base on that hamstring injury. It's J.D. Suarez with a runner on first and 1 out up next. And Don Palali will be subbed out for a pinch runner, Andrew Fernandez. And that jog told Coach Stevens all he needed to know, because that hamstring injury looks like it's still bothering him as he jogs back to the dugout. Here's J.D. Suarez. Take the first pitch. High, ball 1. One 0 pitch to Suarez. It's way high, ball 2. Callahan tried to fake out Fernandez with the ball going behind him on the pitch that was way high, but had it the entire time. Next pitch into Suarez. Catches the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1 on Suarez. Two and one on Suarez. Swing and a miss, strike two. High and tight pitch got Suarez to go around fully. And the count's even at 2. In the top of the 4th, HiToms trail by 10. Next pitch in is on the outside corner. Strike 3 on J.D. Suarez. He strikes out looking, and it's the 4th strikeout for Spencer Floyd. Juan Correa is up next for the HiToms. First pitch is in the turf, ball 1 on Correa. One and 0 on Correa. Pitch is chopped to the second baseman, Oskowski. He'll step on the bag to get Fernandez out at second on the 4th. Spencer Floyd's through 4 innings, allowing 1 run with 4 strikeouts. He's been great so far for Asheboro. We head to the bottom of the 4th. HiToms still trail 11-1. You're listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Back here at McCrary Park in the bottom of the 4th, 11-1 the Zookeepers lead. As Zach Beach, the lefty, steps to the plate against Merritt Dry. He's gone 2 2/3, allowed 3 runs, all being earned, and 3 hits. But he was put in a very tough situation in the first and got out of the inning. But it was a rough start for Brady Garcia, who allowed 8 runs, all being earned in just a third of an inning. So that 0-1 pitch is outside. It's 1-1. 1-1 pitch from the righty Dry. It's in the turf. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Catches the inside corner. Strike 2. 2-2 with no outs in the bottom of the 4th. CPL rules are 10 runs after 7 or 12 runs after 5. Should come into play as the 2-2 pitch is fouled off into the top of the netting. 2-2 on Zach Beach, hitting 5th for Asheboro today. Takes the 2-2 pitch, just a little bit inside, and the count's full. Full count pitch. It's low. Ball 4 to Zach Beach. And a walk begins the bottom of the 4th for Asheboro. First pitch in is on the outside corner for a strike to Dallas Callahan. The next pitch is low. It's 1-1. One and one on Dallas Callahan, but a big 2 RBI double back in the first. Pitch catches the zone upstairs, so it's 1-2 on Dallas Callahan. With no outs in the bottom of the 4th, Asheboro looking to tack on some more runs. The 1-2 foul back into the netting, right behind home plate. One-two pitch to Callahan, swing and a miss. Strike 3, down and out of the zone. Merritt Dry got him to chase a breaking ball, and Dry's been steady after coming in this game in a desperate spot in the bottom of the 1st. And is looking to turn this into a really solid relief outing that probably won't net the HiToms a win down 10 runs, but certainly save some arms out of the bullpen down the stretch in the second half. First pitch to Todd Hudson. It's way inside and low. It's 1-0. Here's the next pitch, hit up the middle. Jake Coonan hits it off his glove to his bare hand on to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Oh, Jake Coonan made a fantastic play. Came loose out of his glove on a ball up the middle of the second baseman, went right to his bare hand, flipped it on to Suarez for the out at second base, but couldn't get Hudson at first. This is a fielder's choice to bring up Trey Way with the runner on first and 2 outs. HiToms have only had a couple positive plays, and that was another one today from Jake Coonan. After losing control, gets it with his bare hand and flips to second. Dry's first pitch in and away. It's on the inside corner for a strike. Merritt Dry's gone 3 1/3 so far in his outing. It's his season high as that next pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Another front door breaker. He's gone 2 innings at most this year and has gone 1 2/3 one other time. So a big time season high. 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, foul tipped into the mid-Karen. Strike 3, Merritt Dry. Another scoreless frame. And he's provided the HiToms with some good stability in the bullpen. HiToms still trail by 10, 11-1. We head to the 5th. You're tuned into HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Welcome back to McCurry Park. As Jake Coonan leads off the top of the 5th. After Spencer Floyd has gone 4 innings, allowing 1 earned run and having 4 strikeouts. And the new pitcher is going to be Itai Spinoza, who pitches at Elon, and the 0-1 pitch is outside. It's 1-1. Now, Spinoza's a very familiar foe of the HiToms, as we're going to count all these appearances up this year. This is his 11th appearance, and it is his 6th against the HiToms. So out of 11, he's pitched against the HiToms in 6 of them, including going 2 innings on July the 21st, 2 scoreless innings, allowing 1 hit. Has around a 20 ERA, and this is a good chance for him to improve on this ERA in a non-pressure situation. 11-1 Asheboro leads. 2-2 pitch, way inside of Coonan. It's 3-2. In 11 innings pitched, Spinoza has 7 strikeouts, 14 walks, and 25 hits. So more than 2 hits per inning. Here's the next pitch. It's lined to Jacob Budzik on a hop. It's a long throw from the outfield turf. And it's going to be in time to get Coonan at first base. Jacob Budzik backed up to take it off a long hop. And a strong throw over to first was in time to get Coonan out for the first out of the inning. Here's Nate Chrisman with 1 out, top of the 5th. He is 1 of the 4 HiToms hits, and will face the lefty Spinoza, who's 1-3 on the year. First pitch misses low. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Chrisman. It's inside. It's 2-0. Kane Kepley in the top of the order on deck. In a game the HiToms have trailed pretty much the entire way after scoring 1 in the top of the 1st. Off Austin Deering's solo home run. His 4th of the year. Ties him for the team lead. 10 by Asher in the bottom of the 1st, and that's been the difference. 3-0 on Chrisman. The pitch, it's outside, ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk. And the HiToms have a runner on with 1 out to bring up Kane Kepley. Kane Kepley's 1 for 2 today. Average is sitting at 371, which, if he were to qualify for the CPL leaderboards, he'd be right in the top 5. First pitch is away in the turf, ball 1. Spinoza has struggled with location, but he's in a 10-run game right now, so no reason not to fire in some strikes. So it's 1-0 on Kepley, lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch to Kepley. Slow and away, it's 2-0. On Kane Kepley. Here's the next delivery. It's way inside. It's 3-0. It's 3-0 on Kane Kepley. Itai Spinoza takes a look at Chrisman at first base and will throw back. And Chrisman's back in time as the tag from Beach was on his back foot. No reason to have that big of a lead in a 3-0 count, with Spinoza struggling to find location. Kepley has a team-high 25 walks and faces a 3-0 count. 3-0 pitch is low. Ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to Kepley. So back-to-back 4-pitch walks, and it's 8 straight balls for Spinoza. And Kepley's 26th walk of the season to bring up Jack Spike with 1 out. Spinoza's first pitch to Spike. Here's a good fastball on the lower portion of the zone, strike 1. He needed that pitch, did Spinoza. With Chrisman on second, Kepley on first. 1 out, top of the 5th. 11-1 Asheboro. Next pitch is Inside on Spike. Nearly checked his swing, but not close enough. So it's 1-1. Here's Jack Spike, fouls it off down the first base line on a fly ball. Sky's a very pretty color here in Asheboro, North Carolina. A nice pink mixed with the blue in the sky. And the temperature is also cooled off quite a bit. As the 1-2 pitch is hit on the ground to the third baseman, Beebe, but it was in foul territory as it was to the left of the third base bag. A chopper from Spike. Surely would have been out for Asheboro at least and possibly a double play. So the HiToms get a break there. As it's now down to 81 degrees in Asheboro. Still about 3 miles per hour of wind. There's Jack Spike. Makes the walk back from first base into the batter's box. And faces a 1-2 count with 1 out from Itai Spinoza, the left-handed pitcher. Here's the pitch in. It's low. And inside on Spike, so it's 2-2. HiToms trying to work some deep counts to get back in the game. 2-2 pitch to Spike. Line down the third base line, but foul. Right at the end of the netting extension above the HiToms dugout. Spinoza will deliver a 2-2 pitch. It's just fouled off by Spike. Looked like it hit the end of his bat. And to the backstop it goes. Two and two on Jack Spike with first and second. 1 out. Ty Spinoza hasn't been great against the HiToms, so it was great his last time out. With a scoreless appearance. 2-2 on Jack Spike. 261 on the year. Hit down the third base line and fouled. So it stays at 2 strikes. Back-to-back walks from Crispin and Kepley on 4 pitches have put them on base. As Kepley and Chris are now in second and third. Here's the pitch. It's lined into left field. It's going to go all the way into left center gap. 2 are going to score from the HiToms. Crispin Kepley spikes on his way to second. The throw is cut off. The HiToms score 2 on a 2 RBI double from Jack Spike. Still trail by 8, but it's a start for the HiToms. Also not exactly sure how Kepley and Crispin advanced from first and second to second and third. So there's nothing scored on point streak, and maybe they're wondering as well how they advanced. But either way, the HiToms have scored 2, and it brings up Austin Deering. So a left-on-left matchup with Spike at second base. First pitch to Deering. It's outside, ball 1. For Jack Spike, that's his 6th extra base hit of the year and his 5th double. 1-0 on Deering. Here's the pitch, way inside. Nearly clipped him at about waist level. Two-0 on Austin Deering, who has a solo home run back in the first inning. 11-3, the HiToms still trail. 2-0 pitch to Deering. It's a breaking ball. That's in the zone for a strike. 2-1 on Deering. Spinoza's next pitch. It's a breaking ball. It's hit into left field. Blackledge is coming on. Buttick's coming out. Neither can make the catch as it fouls down the third base line. Austin Deering is into second base, and it somehow ends up as a double. As a ball in no man's land was not able to be caught by Blackledge or Budzik down the third base line a couple hundred feet out into the outfield. I really thought that was going to go foul from the start, but hangs in fair territory, and the HiToms catch a break And they have 2 more in scoring position for Josh Karen after back-to-back doubles. First for Jack Spike, a 2 RBI double, and then by Austin Deering. That puts Spike at third base and Deering on second. Spike only advanced 1 base because he thought it might be caught with 1 out. First pitch is high and away to Josh Karen. Ball 1. They had a big 4-hit game yesterday and looking to foul that up. With another hit today, Karen fouls that pitch off. Behind home plate, it's 1-1. Josh Karen faces a 1-1 count on Itai Spinoza. He's allowed 2 in the inning. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses low and inside. 2-1 on Karen with 1 out. 2 more in scoring position for the HiToms. Looking for a pretty big inning in the top of the 5th. 2 on pitch. Catches the outside corner on a breaking ball that went from down the middle to the outside corner on the righty Karen, who has struck out and flied out. 2-2 pitch to Karen. Chopped on the ground and into the HiToms dugout. So it stays at 2 strikes on Karen, the starting Nebraska catcher, who hits right around 250 on the year. Here's another 2-2 pitch off the end of his bat down the first base line. A lot of spin left to right. It ends up in first base coach Mason Biddix's hand, who tossed it to a Zookeeper in the Asheboro dugout. So here's the 7th pitch of that bat to Josh Karen. Spinoza delivers the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Josh Karen strikes out for the 2nd time today. And Spinoza has an important 2nd out. And it brings up Andrew Fernandez, who pinch ran for Don Pololi when he had a single back in the 4th. And now will be hitting from the right side as the switch hitter. Spinoza's first pitch into Fernandez. It's outside, ball 1. Second and third, 2 outs. 1-0 pitch. Misses way upstairs. It's 2-0. Fernandez in a hitter's count. It's 2-0. Spinoza will pitch his 2-0. Catches the outside part of the plate. It's 2-1. Well, 2 outs in the top of the 5th. HiToms scored 1 in the top of the 1st, 2 in the top of the 5th on the 2 RBI double by Jack Spike, as that pitch is fouled off by Fernandez to the backstop. Asheboro scored 10 in the bottom of the 1st and 1 in the bottom of the 2nd, and that's where we stand now. At 11-3, Asheboro leads High Point Thomasville. 2-2 on Fernandez. The pitch gets a piece of it and hits off Fernandez's foot as well and behind home plate. J.D. Suarez is on deck. Two and 2 on Fernandez. Spinoza's pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got Fernandez to chase high and out of the zone on a fastball. But the HiToms grab 2 in the inning on the 2 RBI double by Jack Spike. 11-3, Asheboro leads as we're in the bottom of the 5th. You're tuned into HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Jacob Budzik begins. The bottom of the fifth for Asheboro. They lead by 8, 11-3. Mayor tries on the mound again. First pitch is on the ground to J.D. Suarez at shortstop, who gobbles it up and throws to first in time for the first out. So Mayor tries officially gone 4 innings. 3 hits, 3 runs all earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. But overall, given the situation he's in, he has done a fantastic job for the HiToms in relief. And it brings up Leighton Lackey at the top of the lineup for Asheboro. Takes the first pitch high, ball 1. So the Coastal Plain League rule is 12 runs after 5 or 10 after 7. HiToms scored 2 in the top of the 5th, so it need to be a big inning for Asheboro to end this at 5. It's the 1-0 pitch. It's on the inside corner, strike 1. And especially the way Merritt tries pitching. He's been throwing a lot of strikes. This will be his 70th pitch. And it misses low for a ball. 38 strikes and now 32 balls. Here's the next pitch. It's lined into right field, but right at Austin Deering on a line. A hard line drive for Leighton Lackey, but Deering's at the right spot in right field to make the second out. Kolaskowski is up next, who has a bases clearing double in the first, and also hit by pitch, which is his first at-bat in the first inning. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 with 2 outs. HiToms looking for their first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. That next pitch, it's a little bit high. About chest level for Laskowski. 2-0 on Kolaskowski. It's hit up the middle by Dry, but Kunin's at the right spot to the left to second base. And fires on a Correa to retire the side. So 1-2-3 inning for the HiToms. 11-3, the HiToms still trail as we head into the 6th. You're tuned into HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Drew Signer will be the new pitcher in for the Zookeepers. And the right delivers his first pitch. It's on the inside corner, J.D. Suarez, strike 1. Signer has been another reliever that the HiToms have seen quite a bit of. Next pitch in, Suarez, fastball outside corner. 0-2 quickly on Suarez. Signer has 6 appearances. 4 have been against the HiToms. So now 5 out of 7 of his appearances have been against the Tommies. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. It's 1-2. No record with a 7.59 ERA for Signer. The 1-2 pitch rises high. It's 2-2. He's gone 10 2/3, 10 strikeouts, 9 walks, 16 hits, and has 1 save on the year. 2-2 to Suarez. Here's the 2-2. It's a breaking ball hit on the ground, and Jacob Budzik at shortstop. Off a couple hops, throw on to first is a missile for out number 1. So another fine play from Jacob Budzik at shortstop retires Suarez, who is 0 for 3 today. Here's Juan Correa. Juan Correa takes the first pitch deep to left field. No doubt about that ball. Home run, Juan Correa. That's the power he showed this year. Takes that one immediately off the bat. And Blackledge did not even move in left field. Juan Correa, a big-time solo home run. That ball was absolutely crushed. One of the longest home runs that the HiToms have hit all season long. And it's now the 4th for Correa, so the HiToms now have 3 for the team lead in home runs, with Juan Correa hitting his 4th today, Austin Deering hit his 4th today, and J.D. Suarez hitting his 4th yesterday. A no-doubt home run, Juan Correa. So it brings up Jake Coonan, who takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. We'll have to get the numbers on that if we can for Juan Correa. He's hit a home run ball 407 and 403 this year. That one might have been even further over the deep left field wall as Jake Coonan gets hit on the back. And he's on first base with a hit by pitch. So lead 7 for Asheboro still, but a big confidence booster for Juan Correa, who turned on a pitch and hammered it deep to left field like it was batting practice. The wall in left field at McCrary Park is and the usual 7-8 foot wall, and then there's another one on top of it. It's a check back on Coonan at first. He's back in time, so it makes it a little bit harder to clear, but that one no doubt had the height to clear it, and certainly the distance. Nate Chrisman in, takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. So HiToms scored 2 in the top of the 5th, now 1 in the top of the 6th, and they can make this a little bit interesting after going down 10 runs early, after giving up a 10-run bottom of the 1st to Asheboro. Chrisman takes the next one low. It's 2-0 on Nate Chrisman. Here's the pitch. It's by Chrisman on a fastball from Signer. Juan Correa was the JUCO World Series MVP, and for good reason. Showing power like that swing here at McCrary Park. Next one's a breaking ball inside, but catches the corner. It's 2-2 on Nate Chrisman. Runner takes off. It's fouled by Chrisman. Little check swing that was high in the zone. And it's going to send Coonan back to first base as he was on the move with 1 out. HiToms get a couple more runs in, and they can make it real interesting in this game. Still only the top of the 6th, but this looked like it could be finished early, but the HiToms are battling back. Two on Chrisman. Breaking ball. Misses low. And below the zone. It's a full count on Nate Chrisman, who recently joined the HiToms just a couple weeks ago. He's looking to make his imprint on this game. Full count pitch. Breaking ball. Got him a chase. Down and out of the zone for the 2nd out of the inning. And that was a big out for Signer because that brings up Kane Kepley in the top of the lineup. Kepley's 1 for 2 today with a walk. First pitch into Kepley. Here's a good pitch at the knees for strike one. Oh, one pitch to Kepley. Quickly out of the stretch. Signer's working. And the pitch is outside on a fastball. A little bit of a quick pitch on Kepley. 1-1 pitch. It's in the turf. And Kunin's able to swipe second base on the play. So the pitch was low. Another runner's in scoring position for the HiToms with Kane Kepley up, one of the HiToms' best hitters. Signer takes a look at Kunin, now delivers the pitch. It's a fly ball into left field, tailing towards the third base line. Blackledge giving chase, he lays out. He can't make the catch, but it's in foul territory by just a few inches or so. Owen Blackledge from left field almost made a terrific diving catch. Couldn't come up with it. But luckily for Asheboro, it was in foul territory. A ball that was sinking fast, going right to left. And Blackledge just absolutely laid out for that ball. Was just a little bit away from it. So it's 2-2 on Kepley with 2 outs, runner on second. An 11-4 game, 2-2 pitch. Taken high and inside, it's 3-2. Kunin will almost certainly score on a ball to the outfield. Kane Kepley trying to drive home the HiToms' 5th run. They trail by 7. Full count pitch. Signer steps off the mound and lightly tosses to Budzik covering second base. Kunin's back in plenty of time. Asheboro hasn't scored the last 3 innings after 10 in the first and 1 in the second. Full count on Kane Kepley. Full count pitch. Hit on the ground of the first baseman Beach, who takes it himself to the bag off a couple of hops. And Signer's out of the inning, just giving up the solo home run, which is a blast from Juan Correa over the deep left field wall of McCrary Park. 11-4, the HiToms still trail as we're in the bottom of the 6th. You're tuned into HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. HiToms have a new pitcher on the mound. In the bottom of the 6th, it's Story Kimura, who will be subbing in for Merritt Dry, who had maybe his best relief outing of the year. Although he gave up the 3 runs, he went 4 2/3, which was a season high, allowing 3 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. But coming into a game when you're already down 7 or 8 runs and giving your offense a chance to get back in it takes a lot as a pitcher, and Dry's giving the HiToms a chance, as the HiToms have scored the last 3 runs of this game, but still trail by 7, and it's Owen Blackledge up first, the lefty against Kimura. Takes the first pitch, fouled and out of play. Story Kimura pitches it Cornell. And the HiToms will turn to him. He hasn't thrown a ton of innings per appearance this year for the HiToms. As the 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball, misses outside. It's 1-1. No record on the year. That's above a 10 ERA, but that's only in 5 appearances. His last game against the Tops, he went an inning, allowing 5 runs, 4 being earned on 6 hits, but wasn't a ton of hard contact. But it was some good hitting by the Tops. It's the 1-1 pitch. He's in for a strike to Owen Blackledge. And the HiToms know what Kimura can do out of the bullpen, and know he's much better than the numbers say. Here's the Cornell kid. A 1-2 pitch is outside. 2-2 on a breaker. Two and two on Owen Blackledge. Kimura kicks the leg and fires. It's hit out into right field. Austin Deering giving chase near the first base line. Deep in right field, he makes the catch. Couple feet in from the warning track for the first out. Next up is the cleanup hitter, Jared Beebe. With 1 out in the bottom of the 6th, Asheboro leads 11-4. HiToms got off to an early lead, but Asheboro's had it ever since. His first pitch is in for a strike. Austin Deering solo home run put the HiToms on top 1-0 in the top of the first, but they proceeded to give up 10 runs on 4 hits, and 14 hitters batted in the bottom of the first. Here's the 0-1 pitch, misses outside. And it's 1-1. Oh, 1 pitch from Kimura. It's a breaking ball taken deep out to center field. Kane Kepley's under it, and he makes the catch. So 2 flyouts for Story Kimura, and a good start to his evening. And it also looks like the HiToms have a new catcher. I believe that's Noah Hill behind the plate, subbing in for Josh Karen, who usually has his red hat he puts backwards with the N for Nebraska on it. 2 outs, and it brings up Zach Beach. Takes the first pitch high, ball 1. Kimura has gone 5 1/3 this year, 6 strikeouts, 6 walks. And the 13 hits, but 6 came in his last outing. As the next pitch paints the outside corner for a strike. And you have a feeling head coach Sean Stevens hoping for a few innings out of Kimura. One and one on Beach. Breaking ball misses outside. So for Story Kimura, he made his debut his junior year, his most recent year, against then number 5 ranked Wake Forest. 2-1 pitch is absolutely disgusting breaking ball that gets a swing and a miss from Beach. Down and out of the zone. That had a lot of movement out from Kimura, who had 4 appearances at Cornell, 2 1/3, allowed 3 earned runs. Getting a lot of time over the summer. Is hoping to be a staple of the HiToms bullpen. 2-2. Another breaker. Misses outside. It's 3-2. And he has the ability to really locate it well. But obviously the one thing you worry about with breaking balls is hanging the pitch. Because as a hitter, there's nothing better than that cement mixer in the middle of the plate. 3-2. It's a fastball, and it's hit deep out into right field. No doubt about that one. A long home run from Zach Beach. Kimura tried to sneak a fastball by Beach, and that ball was absolutely hammered. Asheboro adds on to their lead. It's 12-4. ...350 feet off the bat. And 105 was the exit velos. That pitch was crushed from Beach. We've seen back-to-back, no doubt, solo home runs. This time it was to right field on the line. And Kimura was just a pitch away from getting out with the 1-2-3 inning. Instead, he gives up a solo home run. HiToms trail by 8. It's Dallas Callahan stepping in. Takes the first pitch high and outside. It's 1-0. Callahan's had a big day. 2 doubles, including a 2 RBI double in the first. 1-0 pitch. It's way inside. It's 2-0. Pitch. It's way outside past the glove of Noah Hill. On the lefty Callahan. Three and 0 on Callahan. Kimura delivers the pitch right down the middle. Strike 1 on a heater. Three and 1 on Callahan. The pitch is outside, ball 4. And Callahan has reached for the 3rd time today. Here is Todd Hudson with the runner on first, 2 outs, 1 in the inning for the Zookeepers. That ball's hit into left field. Jack Spike's going to back up near the wall, and he makes the catch, falling on his back on the warning track. He holds on for the 3rd out of the inning, so Kimura gives up the run on the solo home run from Zach Beach. We head into the 7th. The Zookeepers lead 12-4. You're listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Jack Spike will lead off the top of the 7th against Drew Signer. First pitch into Spike, hits him on the backside. And he's on base with a hit-by pitch. We've seen quite a few in this game. It's now the 5th hit-by pitch in this game. But no bad blood whatsoever between these teams right now. Here's Austin Deering, who had a solo home run back in the first. Also had a double his last at-bat. Spike's on first. Deering at the plate. Signer's first pitch. On the outside corner for a strike, as Deering was wondering if that was his swing or if the pitch caught the zone. Caught the zone. This is our home plate umpire. 0-1 pitch. It's a swing and a miss from Deering. On a high pitch, just a little bit above the zone. And it's 0-2 on Deering. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike 3. Deering strikes out looking for the second time today. So 2 extra base hits and 2 strikeouts for Austin Deering. And that brings up the HiToms catcher, Noah Hill, who subs in for Josh Karen after he was 0 for 3 on the day. So Noah Hill will look at his first pitch and take it high. It's 1-0. The lefty steps in with Spike on first base. 1-0 pitch by him on a fastball. It's 1-1. One and one on Hill. Pitch is fouled back into the netting. Was right on that pitch. 1-2 on Hill. Pitch is a breaking ball. Popped up down the third base line. Beebe's going to give chase. And it's going to land right in front of the HiToms bullpen down the left field line. So it stays at 2 strikes. Noah Hill's 2 for 12 on the year. Getting another opportunity to maybe take a couple of at-bats in this game. It's 1-2 on him with 1 out. Here's the 1-2. He's out ahead on a off-speed pitch for the second out of the inning, and back-to-back strikeouts for Drew Signer. Andrew Fernandez is up next, now hitting from the left side against the righty Signer. First pitch to Fernandez. Gets a piece, but into the mid of Callahan. Strike 1. And it's 0-1 Fernandez. Jack Spike out on first base with a hit-by pitch on the first pitch of the inning. HiToms looking for a couple more runs as that pitch gets by Callahan into the wall, and Spike's gonna lightly run over towards second base, and the HiToms have a runner in scoring position in a 12-4 ball game. One pitch to Fernandez, popped up behind home plate and out of play. 1-2 on Fernandez. His first plate appearance, he just struck out swinging. One and two on Fernandez. Here's the pitch. It's grounded to the right side. Laskowski slides. He makes a stop. Throw on to first. In time. What a play. Cole Laskowski going to his left, slides to make the stop. And it's scooped out of the turf by Zach Beach at first. And the HiToms score 0 in the inning. 12-4 as it's time to stretch here in Asheboro. HiToms trail by 8. You're tuned into HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Trey Way is up in the bottom of the 7th after we stretch here at McCurry Park. First pitch misses a little bit outside from Story Kimura. Next pitch is in for a strike on a fastball from Kimura. Kimura's next delivery misses outside. It's 2-1 on Trey Way. That ball is on the ground. A Chrisman at third base. Charge and fire on the run to get Trey Way in time. A great play by Nate Chrisman at third base for the first out of the inning. Jacob Budzik is up next and swings through that first pitch from Kimura. Strike one. Here's the next pitch. It's in for a strike. Oh and 2 on Jacob Budzik. Kimura's next pitch, fastball, misses the outside corner. It's 1-2. Oh and 2 on Budzik. Rather 1-2. Pitch misses inside. Trying to get a front door breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Two and 2 on Jacob Budzik. Breaking ball misses outside. It's 3-2. Full count pitch misses outside. Kimura loses Budzik and he walks with the one out. Lane Lackey in the top of the lineup is up next in the bottom of the 7th. With Story Kimura, first delivery, gets Lackey out ahead. And there's an 0-1 count on Lackey with Budzik at first base. Kimura delivers the 0-1 pitch. It's hit deep into right field. Austin Deering goes back, leaps up. It's over his head and off against the wall. Lackey's going to hit first base, and he'll stop there. A long single from Lane Lackey. That was probably hit about 355. And I wonder if they're going to give us the distance. They do give us the miles per hour off the bat was 95. They don't have a sign up in right center field. But I would guess that's about 350, 355 out there, where Lackey hit it just over the head of the reaching right fielder, Austin Deering. Here's Cole Laskowski, who ended off the top of the 7th for the HiToms with a great sliding stop. Now up at the plate, runners on the corners, one out. Pitches in the turf. It's 1-0. Lackey on first base. A steal candidate for sure, and Jacob Budzik on third. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Kimura. Checked his swing. No appeal at all from the HiToms, and it's 2-0. This pitch was inside and low out of the zone. Kimura, arm hanging down. Now set. 2 against Laskowski. Here's the pitch. Inside, and it hit him on his front foot. And the bases are now full. And that's now the 6th batter hit in this game. And the Zookeepers have a chance to end it here in the bottom of the 7th, creeping up on me. But the runner at second is actually the winning run in the bottom of the 7th. So if Budzik and both Lackey score, it's a 10-run lead, and it's in the 7th inning. So it would end off the game if the runner from second scores. Owen Blackledge is up with 1 out. HiToms looking to extend the game. Zookeepers trying to end it. First pitch into Blackledge is a strike at the bottom of the zone. Oh, 0-1 on Blackledge. Here's the pitch. Just a little bit low, and it's 1-1 with 1 out. One and one on Blackledge. Breaking ball got him out ahead. It's 1-2. One and two on Owen Blackledge. Correa's in the turf grass at first base. 1-2 pitch. Trying to get a back door. It didn't break enough for Kimura. Two and two on Owen Blackledge. Kimura's pitch. It's a ground ball to Jared Beebe in the on-deck circle. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's line into right field. One's going to score in Budzik. They're going to send Lackey home. The throw to the plate's not going to be in time. And the Zookeepers are now up 10 runs, and that will end the ball game. 14-4. The same way the HiToms defeated the Mustangs yesterday, 14-4. It's the opposite way today, 14-4. Asheboro takes down the HiToms. What a turn of events for the HiToms. And they lose this ball game in 7 innings, 14-4. An ugly game for the HiToms. And they're starting to run out of time to catch the blowfish in the Macon. And now the Zookeepers in the West Division. And the HiToms 5-4 against the Zookeepers now on the year. The HiToms fall to 15-23, 7-8 in the second half. Zookeepers improved to 16-20, 8-7 in the second half. HiToms will next play the Mustangs on the road on the 27th, and then they're back at home the next day, Friday, July 28th, against the Zookeepers. They'll see the Zookeepers again 1 week from yesterday, again at home on July 31st. So that's going to do it for McCurry Park. 14-4 is your final. Asheboro takes down High Point-Thomasville in Asheboro, North Carolina. I'm Adam Oppenheim. Thank you for tuning in as you've been listening to HiToms Baseball on the HiToms Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.